Understood, Grandpa. It's time we were on our way.
Yes, it's better go to her at night. I've arranged a cart for us.
Do you have any Kupala salve left?
If I only knew. We could fly, but feet will do. And another thing. There's this rich fellow, Petrov is his name. He asked me to check on his field. Says demons are ruining his crops. It's not far from Pintek. It so happens.
Well, Vasha, now I can say I've seen things. Cannon fire. A redoute, that's one thing. The devil himself, that's a whole different level. Still, I think that war is scarier. Much scarier than any chort. I still can't forget it.
You've seen too few chorts, Kolya.
Perhaps that's true, but that's beside the point. I'm not going to put up with it. I know how to get over this. I have an idea.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking of stepping right into the fire, if only something turned up.
You could die, you know.
No. I'm not talking about something like a campfire. And I'm not planning on dying either. It's not the devil I have to overcome. Man's greatest enemy is himself. That's what I think.
What happened down there, in the war?
Bah, Vasya, you wouldn't be interested. This war was thought up by the devil and none other. Not by the Holy Spirit, that's for sure. I don't even want to remember. The thoughts alone make my hair white.
Is that why you started smoking?
Well, look at you. They don't call you knowers without reason. Well, yes. I'll start with something small, I think. To tell you the truth, I'm terrified even when I strike Spocks with flint.
You have goosebumps, a sign of a devilish presence. You look around. Your only companion is humming among the silence. Suddenly, a dark figure steps out from the shade. It is a scribe, a Zagavr dealer.
Be wise and go forth. Knowledge will serve as your daily bread.
You catch a whiff of the disgustingly sweet smell of rot. Cold fear enters your soul when you guess what might be the source of the smell. A human body lies nestled in the grass. It is already unrecognizable from decay. You see an old wooden cross upon its breast. You dig a small grave and push the dead man inside. You read a prayer and continue your journey. All of a sudden, the tops of the trees rattle and clang. Alarmed, birds fly away, screaming in fear. You see a whirlwind filled with loose branches and dust from the road. headed your way. You read a prayer, and the whirlwind stops spinning, dissolving into hundreds of demons. Among this throng of unholy spirits, you see a girl in white. She has a noose around her neck. She tries to say something, but the enraged demons immediately summon a new whirlwind and fly away. Several imps stay behind to deal with you. You see a small demon sitting on a hillock. In his hand, he is holding a snake by its tail, swinging it from side to side. A swishing sound of the snake's body and its angry hissing fill the swamp area. You start reading your Zagavers. The demon immediately forgets its toy and jumps straight in your direction. At least the snake manages to escape. Despite the late hour, Sounds of celebration are coming from the village. It turns out that a festive dinner has dragged on and turned into a non-stop festival. You notice the worried host, who looks like he can't wait to say goodbye to his guests. You offer to disperse the festival for the host. His distrust of you vanishes when, after a couple of your zagavers, furious winds send the suddenly worried guests scurrying home. The host rewards you with some of the dishes from a banquet table. Bathing in the moonlight, a moss-covered idol is hidden among the tall trees. You walk closer and see a fresh towel wrapped around it. The forest around you is silent. You meet a girl walking in the direction of Panteg. In her hands, she clutches a spindle that is emanating dark power. Old Yegor smirks, another of the spinner's victims. You call out to the peasant girl and convince her to get rid of the cursed spindle. Surprised, the girl follows your advice. You freeze with horror. A dead girl is dangling from a spruce tree's gnarled branch. You can't move. This strange fruit sways back and forth with a creak in the cold wind. She died recently. You summon the strength to go to Panteg and tell them about the dead body. You see the despair in the eyes of the peasants. It seems the girl was well loved in the village. You feel at ease as you walk down the welcoming street of this village. A calm silence surrounds you. You almost pass through the village, but the silence is broken by loud laughter and the sounds of an accordion.
Vasilisa, is that you? Come on, join us.
I don't have the time.
Come on, your work is such a bore. 5 minutes here won't kill you.
All right, I have a little bit of time.
You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song.
подружка, мила подружка, эх, я сама его сбужу. Эх, и я сбужу. Эх, и да я забору.
On the field, you hear the steady sound of digging. Coming closer, you see a peasant moving the border of a field. The man looks startled when he sees you approach. He stops and calls out to you.
Is that you, Yegor?
It is I, with Vasilisa. God bless.
God bless. What are you looking at? I'm moving the border ditch. What of it?
Why are you moving the border ditch? You moved it quite far.
For good reason. The Petrov's workers caused me nothing but grief. They deceived me, shot me in flour. Only they didn't steal in broad daylight.
Have you spoken of it at the village meeting?
I have. Not much good it did me. Petrov's folks silenced me right away. I'll tell you what. If you curse the demons, I'll pay you.
All right, consider them cursed.
You whisper a few spells into the wind. The evil eye will cast its gaze upon the man's enemies. But will it even do him any good?
They won't be able to say a word at the next village meeting. You can be sure about that.
Thank you. Finally, some luck going my way. Here is some money.
You take the money and go on your way. Near a small forest creek, you find a grassy meadow. Among other vegetation, you see one beautiful flower. It's blood red and bright even in the moonlight. You come closer and tie its stem with a silver thread. With a swift pull, you take the herb and get ready to go on your way. The closer you are to the house of the spinner, the more ominous the woods get. The decaying trunks of pines and spruces tower over the path like silent guardians. Your blood runs cold every other moment. You feel that the border between worlds is very thin in this part of the forest.
So, how do you like this izba? Ours is quite a bit cozier, isn't it? Go speak to that skull. He's a doorman of sorts here. That's the spinner for you, always thinking up something crazy.
What do you mean, speak to the skull?
I mean that it used to be a Khaldun. The regular folks aren't likely to chat with it. We, knowers, are used to this sort of thing. It's something new the spinner thought up. Skulls such as these used to hang on the trees around here like effigies of sorts. This one is used as a kind of test. It would be best if you passed the test. This woman knows me, you see, but she's not familiar with you.
What's with the yarn on the paths?
You see it, do you? Ordinary folk don't. The yarn binds some poor Christians to the spinner. It's a strong and dark sorcery. You had better go and speak to the doorman.
What do you mean,
I mean that it's some skulls. It would be best if you passed.
What else should I know about the spinner?
Hush, child. These skulls report every little detail to that witch. Keep your lips sealed.
You approach the skull hanging by the door. Suddenly, the bony head starts shaking. A burning coal that serves as an eye socket stops you in your tracks.
Oh, joy! And Noah, are we? Finally, some fun! My eye isn't what it used to be. Who's that old timer over there?
Will you let me pass to see the spinner?
With pleasure, but I'm ordered to test Noah. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be hanging around here in the first place. Anyway, we'll do it just like in the fairy tales. I'll give you 3 riddles. Solve any one of them, and I'll let you through. Solve none, or refuse to answer, I'll take one of your eyes. I'm short one, you see.
I'd say that's the least of your problems.
Well, are you up to it?
Have it your way. Ask your riddles.
Listen to the first one, girl. There is a hamlet, folks packed together tight. Come morning the cock sings, yet no man stands upright.
There's a hamlet, folks packed in tight. Come morning the cock crows, yet no man stands upright. A cemetery. Proper dead men do not rise from the graves.
Correct. You solved the riddle. Only that man don't rise in the morning. Believe me, I know. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the second riddle. Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch.
Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch. The priests are singing for the dead. It's a funeral procession.
Correct. You guessed it. I remember those songs. You'll hear them too soon enough. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
Let's riddle some more.
Steal a quine, tale of twine.
Steal a quine, tale of twine. Well, that's easy. I'm here to see the spinner after all. It's a needle and a thread.
Correct. You guessed it. Look at you. You should know your riddles. That makes you a powerful witch. Well, you may pass. We can riddle some more. No eyes involved, just like that, for curiosity's sake.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the fourth riddle. Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech.
Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech. A shadow walks with no legs behind a man.
Huh, right you are. I can riddle you another one.
Let me crack one more.
The ship broke to bits over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew. No money, no books.
Ship fell to bits over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew. No money, no books. The sky broke and scattered all the stars.
Correct. You are a clever one, girl, and a knower at that. You might be powerful enough. Listen, you might be even more knowledgeable than the spinner. Why don't you take me along? I can look after your isba and whatnot. I can make myself useful, you know.
So be it. Your eye shines quite bright. I could use you for a lantern. All right then, I'm off to see the spinner.
Evening, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Evening to you too, Yegor Yevlampevich.
The voice of the spinner is quiet and smooth, like the rustling of pages in the Black Book.
Brought you my little orphan. Became a knower recently, this one.
You sure did. But what are you thinking, poking around in my business? You took my spindle. It was doing my bidding, you know. I let it slide on account of you not knowing and all.
God bless, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
I see you're a fine girl and a smart one. Yes, I heard your replies to the riddles. To be a knower is not all demonic affairs. So why are you here? Not just to check up on an old woman, I should think.
Saw a dead girl in Villas of Woods.
That was Marfa, I would guess. Didn't have money for a love potion. Was quite desperate, I gather. Well, it serves her right.
We met your doorman. What of that skull?
Some lousy Khaldun. And Yeretnik, God rest his soul. Hasn't served his time yet, so he helps me around the house.
I wanted to ask you about this yarn you have here and around the house.
This witchery is not yet for you, Vasilisa. In time you'll learn, perhaps. It's not the same as sending fiends for milk, mind you.
I need a woven belt. A powerful one, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Yes, I know you came for a belt. Only why would I give one to you?
Old Yegor warned me that I should watch my mouth around the spinner. How should I answer her? You're known all across the Uyezd for weaving the best belts, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
So I am. You aren't here without reason. I can indeed make good belts. You've become a knower, so I'll give you an enchanted belt. So what are you going to do with your chorts?
How am I supposed to answer that? I really don't know what to do with them. Well, make them suffer, of course. Give them some back-breaking work.
That's how you should treat them. Torment those filthy creatures. Only knowers can do some good. Well, turns out you're a good knower, girl. I'll give you a belt as a gift. Here, it's a good one. Later, I'll put you in touch with a pupil of mine. A fine man. Maybe it'll work out for the two of you,
Thank you for the belt, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Well, thank you, Kapitalina. See you again sometime.
See you soon. Farewell.
Spinner is no simple witch. It's not the last time we'll hear of her. Well done, Vasya. She's taking a liking to you. The meeting couldn't have gone better. All right, we've got the belt. Now we must plan our next moves. Well, you've got all the items you need. Now we can try freeing your bride. Since you have the book now, I can't go. I'm not that strong of a Khaldun anymore, to tell the truth. And Abdericha is a powerful spirit. She can charm and skin you alive so fast that you won't know what hit you. So, Vasya, you must prepare yourself properly. Perhaps you have some questions.
What kind of ritual should we perform? I don't remember you teaching me any such things.
I've never saved changelings from the banyas. I think you will need to go down beneath the floor. The bannik will test you there. You have all the right items, but don't forget your wit. Perhaps you have some questions.
What is that, Abdericha?
Who knows where this one came from? These things all emerge in different ways. They say a bannik settles in a banya where 40 children were born. As for this one, the only thing we can say for sure is that she switches out children. Is it an accident or not? Only the Abdericha can answer that. Perhaps you have some questions.
Time to hit the road.